Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Christopher Robin. This is a 2018 film. It's an hour and 50 minutes long, and it stars Ewan McGregor and Haley Atwell. Yeah, Star Wars, Marvel, coming together to tell a Winnie the Pooh story. But yes, the main character in this is Christopher Robin, and it's not your normal, hey, it's a kid hanging out with stuffed animals in the 100-acre wood. Christopher Robin's grown up in the form of Ewan McGregor. He could have done worse. Yeah, this is again a live action Disney film. Even though again, Winnie the Pooh isn't a Disney property. It's not like Walt did not create Winnie the Pooh. It's an A.A. Milne creation, and it's now in the open, and anybody can make a Winnie the Pooh story. But this is kind of they've done plenty of animated stuff over the years. I grew up with the animated stuff. It's just part of most kids' childhoods at this point, and generations to come, more than likely. Now there's people doing horror films based on these characters, loosely based on these characters. But this is a great piece. I really loved it. Friends have been recommending it to me forever, and yeah, well, I kind of knew I would like it beyond just the cast. But Winnie the Pooh, like I said, it's part of my growing up. It's something that I enjoyed as a kid. And as an adult, I've been watching all the series and all the movies here on Disney Plus, and I think this is one of the last things for me to watch that has Winnie the Pooh as one of the characters. It's kind of a sad day. And what you're going to find with some people, I'm not going to spoil any of the major parts of this film at all. But you're going to see, you get to see what happens when we grow up and we step away from childhood things, and and that's Christopher Robin. This is a kid who one day just didn't return to the 100-acre wood because it was a point where he knew he had to leave, because the place where he steps into this world in the woods behind his home, his childhood home, was the gateway to that world. And when he moved away from there, because he was old enough to go to school, and he went to a prep school, for kids, of course, and he had some hardships growing up. And again, by the time we see him as Ewan McGregor, he is an adult, or barely an adult, who's been sent to World War II, and at this point he's already married to his wife, played by Haley Atwell, and he is about to have a child. That's not too big spoilery, because again, it's the core of the story. It's about family, and if anything else, Winnie the Pooh has always been a story about family, and also the friends you consider family, you treat as family. And what we get here with Ewan McGregor is a man who is far removed from his childhood memories of playing with stuffed animals in the woods, who are fully formed creatures in his mind, completely autonomous. They're just, we all have, when we're kids, most of us, some of us, have invisible friends, or just maybe a favorite toy, a stuffed animal that we treat as our best friend. And we grow up with that, and at some point we set it behind us. Well, in this place, in this live action version of Winnie the Pooh, which again, nothing is cartoony in this. The look of Winnie and Pooh. He's a Pooh. His name is Winnie, but they call him Pooh. He's Winnie the Pooh. He's a bear. Eeyore, Piglet, Kangaroo, Owl, Rabbit, all of them make an appearance, but they look very real. They're animated in such a real way, but they're still also stuffed animals. You can see the seams in the different parts where they're stitched together. And of course, Eeyore can lose his tail, just like he does in the cartoons. It's that. I love the way they did it. They didn't make him an actual bear. They didn't make him an actual donkey or an actual pig. That would have been a little weird. That would have been a little unsettling. But these are his toys come to life. And at a point in his life when Christopher Robin is all grown up, working at a business, having to make hard decisions, and it's stressing him out, having to choose between spending time with his wife and daughter for a weekend and getting the job done that he's required to do as part of his career. Well, you kind of get the idea that he might have had a nervous breakdown, but did he? Because at some point, Pooh comes back into his life. How? Well, you'll have to watch the movie to find out. And what's it like when Pooh is interacting with a much older version of his best friend? Honestly, Jim Cummings, who does the voice of Pooh and Tigger, as he does in the animated films and in later years. I don't know if he's done all. Has he done all of them, like the really old ones? I don't think he has, but he's been around long enough. Maybe he has. I don't recall. I know there's been different people doing Tigger and Eeyore over the years. In this place, Brad Garrett plays Eeyore. Yeah, you can hear it already in his voice. Raymond. Yeah. What I found out, though, that there are some other interesting people that you might recognize that provide voices for Pooh's friends, Christopher Robin's friends. Nick Mohammed plays Piglet. Now, if you ever watch Ted Lasso, you know who Nick is. He's the little Indian guy who... Nick. we're not all 6 feet tall soccer players, but compared to all those athletes, yeah, you're kind of smaller. You're a smaller guy. I would be too, next to any of them. But he was the assistant coach on Ted Lasso. You can hear it when you hear Piglet talk. You'll realize it. You'll pick it up. Rabbit is played by Peter Capaldi. Yes, one of the doctors, the 12th Doctor from Doctor Who. He plays Rabbit. He doesn't get a whole ton of lines, and I was surprised when I looked at this. I was like, I should have known that. I should have known that was Peter Capaldi. But, well. And then we have Sophie Okonedo as Kanga, Sarah Sheen as Rue, and Toby Jones as Owl. Toby Jones, you might recognize. I wish Sophie Okonedo, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, feels like I should know her from something else, and I can't see it. I'm not going to go digging around finding out just now, but yeah. But Toby Jones, you'll know him as the villain Arnim Zola in the Captain America movies. He's done a ton of other stuff. But yeah, for us Marvel nerds, yeah, he was Arnim Zola. But so it's a great cast. It's great voices, and this is a man coming to terms with his childhood when he needs it most, in conflict with a very grown-up life that you get the feeling that he doesn't even necessarily want. He wants to be with his wife and child, and not choosing them creates a bit of a rift. It creates a bit of a stress on him, because he's ostensibly a good guy, but he has to make hard choices that he has to decide what's more important to him. And that's a lesson a lot of us could probably put in our lives. And this puts it together without bashing us over the head. It's a big adventure. It's probably also contains the biggest explosion I've ever seen in a Winnie the Pooh story. It's one explosion, and it's not a good part of the plot. It's just to show that he's in wartime. And then it's a big adventure toward the end in trying to solve a problem. When in order to make things right, his friends come to Christopher Robin's rescue. That's all I'm going to say, because he, of course, many times has come to their rescue. So yeah, this is, if you haven't seen it yet, you're missing out. I was missing out. Friends had told me about this for a long time to watch it, but I knew that it would eventually show up in my queue at random when it would get picked for this series. So I'm glad I finally got to watch it. This is immensely rewatchable. There are so many good lines from Pooh himself, just done by, you've seen so many things come from Pooh over the years. So many sweet, gentle, kind. Just there's a reason that the Winnie the Pooh that we know, whether it's from books or from movies and TV, is so iconic. And Jim Cummings just brings them to life in the ways you'd expect, the ways we've known for so long. It's neat to see him dealing with an adult, because this is something that, again, all of these creatures, all of his little buddies, his stuffed animals, have never dealt with an adult in any story we've seen before, and much less their best friend. So just to see that, just to see how they interact with him, and Pooh, he can almost not be offended, even when he becomes frustrating, and Christopher tells him that. It's just the way they have his eyes are just solid black dots for the most part, like buttons in the center almost, and still there's so much expression there in just how they crafted his face, just the pointy nose and just a t-shirt, and and I realize it's CGI, it's not puppetry, but maybe it's puppetry to some degree. I don't know how much of it is. Maybe there's a behind the scenes. I should check and see if there's a behind the scenes extras. Tell me about some extras. Oh, there's a trailer. There's some. I usually don't dig into this when I'm making these videos, but there's some behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, some history. Winnie the Pooh. Definitely check this out. I can't recommend it enough. It's a delight to watch. It's directed by Mark Forster, and you will not lose an hour and 50 minutes of your life by watching this, especially if you're a Pooh fan. Again, if you're a big Winnie the Pooh fan, odds are you've seen this many times, and share it with your children. There's nothing objectionable that a kid can't watch, and there's nothing objectionable that an adult can enjoy as well. So it's been too long for me to not see this. Check it out. Let's pick tomorrow's episode before the battery dies in this thing. Ay, shoot. No. I pressed the button again. But I saw the number. It was 160. Dang it. No. It's 160, and then it was 138. Because I pressed it again. It doesn't matter. I'm going to check to see what they are. 160 and 130. Now I have 2 days, but they're not going to be tomorrow's episode. 160. Okay. All right. Documentary. 138 is not a documentary. It's a movie, but it's a shorter movie, I believe. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, because tomorrow, technically tonight, is the premiere of Moana 2 on Disney+. That's what I'm going to watch. I'll be watching Moana 2. I screwed it up by shaking this thing too hard. Moana 2 soon is going to premiere a little after midnight or so. So I guess that's what I'm doing right at midnight. And I'll be back here soon enough to tell you all about it. Moana 2 is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.